Hello and welcome to the Business Standard Morning Show. I'm Kanishka Gupta. It's the 4th of December 2023 and here are the questions we will be answering today. What do the 5 assembly election results reveal? Has the government budgeted enough for free food grain scheme? Will Indian equities see a Santa rally this December? And what is COP28? Results of 4 out of 5 state elections are out and BJP has bagged 3 states. The result for the 5th and remaining state of Mizoram will be declared today. While BJP's plan of regaining a foothold in South India suffered a setback as Congress clinched Telangana, the Saffron Party emerged stronger in North by winning MP, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. So what do these results tell us? To find out, Business Standard's Ankur Bharadwaj caught up with National Affairs Editor Archis Mohan. Please listen in to this interesting conversation.
On Sunday, Indians were glued to their screens as they waited for the results of state assembly polls held in November. On Friday, the Election Commission had announced that the results for Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana and Chhattisgarh will be declared on Sunday, while Mizoram's voters will have to wait till Monday for the results. The electoral picture became clearer as the day progressed, and by evening, we had clear winners and losers. The BJP emerged as the dominant force in these polls. It won a landslide victory in Madhya Pradesh. It wrested Rajasthan from the Congress and also won in Chhattisgarh. The Congress party, on the other hand, lost Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, failed to wrest MP, but had a surprising victory in Telangana. To discuss these results, I'm joined by Business Standard's National Affairs Editor Archis Mohan. Welcome to the morning show, Archis.
Thank you, Ankur.
If we were to discuss these results state by state, MP would probably get our attention first. What a massive victory for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. What are the reasons for this, Archis?
The data we have until now suggests that women voted in greater numbers for the BJP than they did for the Congress. And the reason for this is BJP's pro-women policies, such as the Ladli Behna scheme and subsidized gas cylinders. Something similar happened, but for the Congress in Karnataka, where its women-centric schemes helped it get much more votes of women than it did for the BJP.
What is the import of this massive victory for the BJP?
It tells us that the electorate, at least in the Hindi heartland states, trusts Prime Minister Narendra Modi's guarantees much more than the Congress guarantees. It also tells us that the BJP leadership's strategy of fielding at least 18 of its MPs in these 3 states galvanized the party.
Moving on to Rajasthan now, the state has followed its 5-yearly trend and has voted out the Ashok Gehlot government. What next for the 3-time Chief Minister?
If you would remember, Ankur, the party high command wanted Mr. Gehlot to shift to Delhi and possibly be the presidential candidate in the internal elections. Mr. Gehlot refused, and now he is lost. Now, Mr. Gehlot is not a charismatic leader. The party leadership has to go to the younger generation, whether Mr. Sachin Pilot or Govind Dotasara. It depends mostly on the central leadership whether they would rehabilitate Mr. Gehlot at the center.
During the Rajasthan campaign, there were murmurs in the BJP about leadership, and the party didn't declare any chief ministerial face. Who do you think will become the Rajasthan Chief Minister now?
While one should never rule out a veteran like Vasundhara Raje, some of the contenders could be the Rajsamand Lok Sabha MP Diya Kumari, who has contested the assembly election, Baba Balaknath, a young seer who is an OBC, the state unit chief CP Joshi, and a couple of others.
One big surprise of these election results has been the Congress's loss in Chhattisgarh. Is it fair to say that this is an unexpected loss?
Yes, indeed. It was conventional wisdom that Congress would win Chhattisgarh, and I would attribute the loss to factional fighting between T.S. Singhdev and Bhupesh Baghel camps.
BJP leader Raman Singh has served as the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh for 15 years before losing it 5 years ago. Do you think he will return to the office of the Chief Minister?
I would think the BJP leadership at the center would look beyond Mr. Raman Singh. and some of the contenders to be the chief minister are Mr. Sao, who is the Lok Sabha MP from Bilaspur and also the state unit chief, and the surprise candidate could be a former IAS officer, O.P. Chaudhary.
Moving on to South India now, nearly 10 years after it was carved out of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana has elected a new government. The Congress party has defeated K. Chandrasekhar Rao led BRS. What makes this Congress victory special, Archas?
The Telangana win is a rare instance where the Congress, after having lost to a regional party, has managed to regain a state. The Congress has not been able to accomplish something like this, whether in Bihar or in UP, or even in states like West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh, where its offshoots have taken root. Another bright spark for the Congress is that some of its traditional support base, such as among Dalits and minorities, has returned to the Congress, especially in rural areas. So Congress has something to cheer about in these elections.
What about the BRS and its leadership? Is it too soon to ask what the future holds for them?
Now, if the minorities have deserted the BRS, the question is whether it'll follow the neighboring states' Janata Dal Secular's path. Janata Dal Secular has now aligned with the BJP in Karnataka. During the election campaign in Telangana, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the BRS chief had reached out to him to join the NDA. Would the BRS do that now?
How did the exit polls fare?
Some did well, some didn't. For example, India Today Access and Today's Chanakya predicted the Madhya Pradesh result accurately, but went wrong uh, about Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh results. For the others also, it was a mixed bag. So I don't think this round of assembly elections was a very good result for the exit polls.
What are the implications of these results for national politics, especially general elections 2024?
The Congress's failure to challenge the BJP, especially in the Hindi heartland, would be demoralizing not just for the Congress but also for rest of the India bloc parties. Remember, it's these 185 seats where Congress and BJP face each other, where the Congress needs to do well to stop the BJP from forming the government at the center or reducing its current strength. If the Congress cannot do that, no opposition alliance can upstage the BJP.
So, who are the big winners and losers of these elections?
Ankur, some of the bigger losers are the senior leadership of the Congress, veteran politicians like Kamal Nath, Digvijay Singh, and Ashok Gehlot. Other losers would include regional parties, some of the smaller parties, some of the pretenders, such as Aam Aadmi Party. I think a loss for the Congress is also the toll that the losses in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan have taken on its morale in northern India. Of the winners, obviously the Bharatiya Janata Party, but a surprising winner is Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who was not projected as the Chief Minister, but after delivering such a massive win, the BJP cannot ignore Mr. Chauhan.
So, there you have it. Archas, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ankur.
At an election rally in Chhattisgarh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had promised to extend the free food grains program by another 5 years. And just last week, the Union Cabinet gave its note to the extension, which is likely to cost around 11.8 trillion rupees to the exchequer over 5 years. Now, it comes at a time when MSP of several crops has been revised upwards and subsidy bills on petroleum and fertilizers are soaring. So, has the government budgeted enough for the free food grain scheme? Ayush Mishra and Abhijit Kumar find out.
On Wednesday, the Union Cabinet decided to extend the PMGKAY scheme from 1st January 2024, continuing the initiative to provide free food grain to 81.35 million individuals. Originally set to end on December 31st, the program, initiated in April 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, was extended. It was subsequently incorporated into the Nation Food Security Act, offering 5 kg of additional food grains per beneficiary monthly for a year. The estimated next 5-year expenditure on food subsidy is 11.80 trillion rupees. The scheme's annual expenditure is estimated at approximately 2.4 trillion rupees with a monthly outlay of nearly 20,000 crore rupees on a pro rata basis. Government sources indicate an additional subsidy burden of 6,000 crore rupees for the last 3 months of the current fiscal year. In the first half of FY24, 95,000 crore rupees has already been spent on food subsidy, constituting 48% of the budgeted amount for the year, compared to 56% in the same period last fiscal year. However, experts believe that the economic cost, influenced by factors like minimum support price or MSP, storage, transportation, and distribution charges are also a significant factor to consider. In FY24, procurement incidentals constituted 14% of the economic cost of rice and 12% of wheat. MSPs for distributed wheat and rice rose by 5 to 7% annually since 2019-20.
I think the food ministry is yet to come out whether it's going to be extended for 5 years or not. But even after that, we have to be extremely clear what exactly this move is. Basically, it is saying that under the NFSA, when the beneficiaries were paying 1 rupee or 2 rupees for the food grain that were procuring, that has been exempted. So the additional cost of that particular policy is not going to be very big. As I told you, 10 to 15,000 crore, or even if it goes to 20,000 crore per annum, is not a big number in my view.
The challenge for the government lies in managing the subsidy bill in the upcoming years. Given the substantial increases in MSPs for paddy and wheat announced by both BJP and Congress in poll-bound states like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and Telangana. These states contribute significantly to central pool stocks, and the government must navigate this situation to ensure fiscal prudence while keeping the farmers satisfied.
MSP, increase will have some impact on the exchequer, but as you know, the changes in the MSP is only on the margin. So I think, given that there is an increase in the overall revenues, even the current year as well as for the expected in the next year also, again, the impact on the fiscal deficit, that is which they projected for 5.9%, would not really get affected because of the increase in the MSP.
Experts point out that fertilizer subsidy projected at 1.75 trillion rupees is a significant concern in FY24. This is because non-urea fertilizer subsidy is estimated to increase by 36% from the budget estimates to approximately 60,000 crore rupees during the period. In the first half of FY24, 96% of the non-urea and 56% of the urea subsidies were spent. The petroleum subsidy could increase by 10,000 crore rupees over the budgeted amount of 2,257 crore rupees due to subsidized cooking gas cylinders for domestic users. Hence, the additional subsidy burden could be 32,000 crore rupees over the budget estimates.
The next years onwards, the subsidy will be much higher. So the budget, whether they put this one and all, they have to reduce some other expenditures if they put this under the budget, because they have to give this subsidy since they have announced. And also the other subsidies are there, like the fertilizer subsidy will increase, and then expenditure under NREGA, MG NREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Also, they have to increase, and also LPG they reduced, price. So these subsidies will increase in the budget. So they have to either reduce capital expenditure or the revenue expenditure.
Economists are also concerned over its impact on India's overall fiscal position. The country's fiscal deficit for the first half of this year till September was 7.02 lakh crore rupees, 39.3% of the annual estimate. It had already widened from 37.3% in the comparable months of FY23. Speaking to journalists last week, Finance Secretary TV Somanathan said the 5-year extension to the PMGKAY will not hurt the government's medium-term fiscal consolidation roadmap. The integration of PMGKAY and the National Food Security Act has convinced experts that budgetary constraints will not hinder the continuation of free food grains for 81.35 crore persons. The anticipated financial burden on the exchequer is projected to be in the range of 12,000 to 15,000 crore rupees. Considering the prevailing fiscal circumstances, the government seems capable of absorbing this supplementary expenditure.
Indeed, tax buoyancy and impressive GDP numbers suggest that India can afford to offer free food grains to the needy. Meanwhile, good second quarter numbers also gave the markets reason to cheer. The Nifty 50 index started off December by claiming new highs. The index topped the psychological level of 20,250 last Friday and hit a fresh lifetime high of 20,292. Interestingly, in the last 4 years, the markets have rallied in December 3 out of 4 times. So, is this the start of yet another Santa rally in our markets? In our next segment, Nikita Vashisht and Rex Cano bring you a report on what market experts think of the markets, sectors to bet on, and key levels that investors should watch out.
Equity markets kicked off December on a crisp note, with the Nifty 50 scaling a new all-time high of 20,291 on 1st of December. The index took about 51 sessions to reclaim the new summit, surpassing the previous high touched on September 15, 2023. The frontline indices jumped over 5% in November as a temporary truce in the Israel-Hamas war, easing US bond, stable crude oil prices, and trend reversal in foreign capital flows bolstered sentiment. And now, with the September quarter GDP topping analysts' estimates at 7.6%, the stage seems set for a year-end or the so-called Santa rally in December. Generally, a market rally seen in December is referred to as Santa rally since it coincides with the Christmas season. Indian equity markets have rallied in 3 out of the last 4 December months, with the year 2022 being an exception. Benchmark indices have gained around 1% each in December 2019, followed by 8% rally in 2020 and 2% up move in the year after. Going ahead, the rock-solid session on December 1st is giving analysts confidence that the Santa rally in the Indian stock markets might already be underway.
We do believe Indian equities could see some catch-up in December in the form of Santa rally and cross previous highs. Last 3 months, we have seen some consolidation in Nifty as it delivered a modest return of around 2%. However, the broader markets, mid-caps and small caps have done very well and have given an impressive return of 8 and 16% in the last 3 months. So while domestic inflows have been quite robust, some FI inflows towards the year end is likely to help the markets in achieving new highs.
The rally, Pandey believes, will be supported by cooled off crude oil prices and hopes that Fed rates will likely peak at current levels. Against this backdrop, the analyst from ICICI Securities suggests investors bet on these sectors.
Typically, December month witnesses strong consumption trend in sectors like retail, hotel, as well as other discretionary categories. Amid the festive holiday plus wedding season is already in place. So, consumption-oriented sectors are expected to be a good bet for the month of December.
Having said that, the Santa rally this December will have to navigate through risks emanating from geopolitical tensions and slowdown in the Chinese economy. Investors thus need to be mindful of these key levels on the benchmark indices.
Tender rally is already underway considering the kind of move that we have witnessed in our markets in the last 4 weeks. 20,500 is something that we are eyeing in the Nifty after this recent breakout, and in that case 68,400, 500 for the Sensex is going to be the next target area in the coming weeks. In case if there will be any profit taking or a decline, we believe that 19,400 to 600 will continue to act as a major support in the next month. And similarly for the Sensex, the levels comes closer to around 65,000, 65,400 mark.
Today, on the 4th of December, the market shall react to overseas cues and state election results. Besides, the Reserve Bank of India's monetary policy meeting will be the key event this week.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.
The last week also brought cheers to developing nations on the climate change front. On the first day of COP28, member countries agreed to make operational the Loss and Damage Fund. And on the same day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi proposed to host the UN Climate Conference in 2028 or COP33 in India. In today's explainer, Tariq Ahmed tells more about COP and also decodes the Loss and Damage Fund.
Leaders of about 196 countries go into a huddle at a pre-decided location every year. This time, they are meeting in Dubai between 30th of November and 12th of December. The aim is to check the rising global temperature, which is leading to extreme weather events. All these countries are part of the Conference of Parties or COP. It is the key decision-making body of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And it has been meeting every year since 1995 Berlin Conference, the year of its formation. The ongoing Dubai summit is called COP28, as it is the 28th meeting of this group since the first meeting, which was held in 1995. The primary objective of the COP is to bring together representatives from member countries to address the global challenge of climate change. COP has been instrumental in shaping international climate policies. It has witnessed the negotiation and adoption of key agreements, including the Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Agreement. The Kyoto Protocol established binding emission reduction targets for developed countries, while the Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015 at COP21, set the ambitious goal of limiting global temperature rise well below 2 degrees Celsius. The COP provides a platform for countries to discuss, negotiate, and collaborate on climate-related issues. Its functions include reviewing and assessing countries' progress in meeting climate commitments, negotiating new agreements to address emerging challenges, and fostering a global dialogue on climate change mitigation and adaptation. In a sense, the COP plays a crucial role in coordinating international efforts to tackle climate change and pave the way for a sustainable and resilient future. Historically, G20 countries emitted the largest chunk of greenhouse gases. The African region, for example, contributes the least to climate change, yet it is the most vulnerable to its impacts. India too falls in the same category. The Loss and Damage Fund is a global financial package which refers to the compensation that rich nations must pay to poor nations.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.
The US, UK and the EU are reportedly responsible for 50% of all emissions. India, on the other hand, is responsible for only 4% of emissions historically. Well, that is all for today. For more news, views and analysis, please log on to business-standard.com.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard.
For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.